when wisdom fails to penetrate through other means. One evening, after 18 hours of strategic planning, Milton's body simply refused to continue. His usual sharp mind turned foggy, and his carefully arranged papers blurred before his eyes. In that moment of complete surrender, a profound peace washed over him. For the first time in years, he sat in silence, too tired to plan, too weary to worry. The law of attraction operates with elegant simplicity. What you resist persists. Your relentless planning creates resistance to the natural flow of life. When you clutch too tightly to control, you constrict the very channel through which abundance flows. The universe cannot deliver its gifts through clenched hands. In the depths of your being lies a wisdom far greater than any strategic plan. This infinite intelligence orchestrates galaxies and guides migrations across vast oceans. It knows the perfect timing for every leaf to fall and every flower to bloom. This same force stands ready to choreograph the dance of your desires, if only you would loosen your grip on the need to control every step. One morning, Milton took his fishing rod to the pier. His usual approach would have involved checking weather patterns, tide charts, and fish migration data. Instead, exhaustion had taught him surrender. He cast his line and simply sat, watching the sun paint the waves in gold. Hours passed without a single bite, yet Milton remained in peaceful acceptance. The moment his mind drifted away from fishing entirely, lost in the beauty of seabirds swooping overhead, he felt the strongest pull on his line. This seemingly simple morning revealed a universal truth. Manifestation flows most freely through the channel of relaxed attention. The fish arrived not through Milton's careful planning, but through his surrender to the moment. Sacred practice. After voicing your intentions for any endeavor, pause and softly speak these words. And now I let go. Then immerse yourself in an activity that brings pure joy, perhaps walking in nature, creating art, or playing with a pet. True allowing begins in these moments of relaxed delight, when your guard drops and the universe can finally work its magic through you. Part 3. The Mastery Phase. Chapter 21. The Architecture of Faithful Focus. A woman named Sally dwelled in a cottage by the sea, her mind a tempest of desires. Each morning brought new dreams, to paint masterpieces, to write novels, to build a sanctuary for lost souls, to travel distant lands. She scattered her energy like seeds in a windstorm, wondering why nothing took root. The universe speaks in the language of clarity. When your thoughts disperse in countless directions, the cosmic forces cannot align with precision. Each wish carries its own frequency, and when multiple frequencies clash, they create static rather than symphony. This is why masters of manifestation choose their desires with sacred deliberation. Think of energy as water flowing through channels. When divided into many small streams, it loses its power. Yet, when directed through a single course, it carves mountains. Your attention holds this same force. It shapes reality itself. The art lies not in wanting everything, but in selecting what resonates most deeply with your soul's truth. Those who manifest with grace understand that focus is not restriction, it is power. By honoring one dream fully, you honor all dreams. This is the paradox of abundance. Through conscious limitation comes unlimited potential. When you scatter your energy across many desires, you dilute the very force that brings them into being. One evening, as Sally walked along the misty shore, she witnessed the lighthouse beam cutting through dense fog. While countless waves crashed below and stars wheeled overhead, that single ray remained steady, unwavering in its purpose. Ships found their way home guided by this focused light, not by the diffuse glow of all the stars combined. In that moment, Sally understood. The lighthouse didn't question its purpose or divide its energy. It simply shone, consistent and clear, fulfilling its singular intention. Through this devotion to one purpose, it served all purposes, guiding vessels, warning of danger, bringing travelers home. Ancient practice. In the quiet of dawn, seat yourself in stillness. From all your wishes, select the one that resonates most deeply with your soul's truth. Hold this single dream in your awareness like a lighthouse holds its beam. For 7 days, speak of it as though it already exists. I am, rather than I want. Let all other desires rest gently aside, knowing that through this one clear channel, the universe's abundance flows most purely. Watch as reality begins to mirror your focused intention, rearranging itself around the steady light of your unwavering attention. Chapter 22. The Expansion of Joy. In a bustling city market, Ruth stood behind her jewelry counter, frowning at her sales ledger. Each morning brought the same ritual, counting inventory, checking figures, and worrying about tomorrow. The weight of responsibility had slowly dimmed her once radiant spirit, until she saw every transaction as a battle against scarcity. One afternoon, a child dropped an ice cream cone near her stand. Instead of crying, the little girl laughed so heartily at the splattered mess that Ruth couldn't help but join in. That shared moment of mirth lifted something within her. Suddenly, customers began flowing to her counter, drawn by the lingering warmth of her genuine smile. By day's end, she had sold more pieces than in the entire previous week. The universe speaks through vibration, and joy resonates at the highest frequency. When you align with joy, you tap into the natural current of abundance. Joy is not mere emotion. It is a creative force that reorganizes reality around its radiant core. Your state of being becomes a magnet, attracting circumstances that match its frequency. Many walk the spiritual path with furrowed brows, believing that serious dedication leads to faster results. Yet the opposite holds true. Tension blocks, while lightness allows. The universe responds not to the intensity of your striving, but to the purity of your vibration. In a small bakery across town lived an old woman named Sophia who sang to her bread as it rose. Customers traveled miles for her loaves, claiming they could taste joy in every bite. When asked her secret, Sophia simply replied, "The yeast dances to my happiness." Her prosperity flowed not from marketing strategies or business plans, but from the simple delight she took in her craft. This truth echoes through the ages. Joy is not the result of success, it is the catalyst for it. Sophia's story reveals that when you infuse your actions with genuine delight, the universe mirrors that energy back in unlimited ways. Ancient practice of joy weaving. Choose one activity today that you normally approach with seriousness. It might be washing dishes, writing emails, or walking to work. Consciously inject it with playfulness. Hum while you work, dance between tasks, or simply smile for no reason. Your only measure of success should be the lightness in your heart. Watch how this shift in energy attracts unexpected blessings. Remember, a heart that knows joy becomes a magnet for miracles. Chapter 23. The Rhythm of Presence. In a bustling marketplace, Leon wandered through stalls of fresh produce and vibrant fabrics, yet saw nothing. His mind drifted between memories of yesterday's mishaps and tomorrow's uncertainties. Though surrounded by life's rich tapestry, he remained lost in the shadows of time. The universe speaks through the language of now. Each moment arrives as a pristine gift, wrapped in infinite possibility. When attention scatters across time's landscape, power dissolves into mist. The present moment stands as a sacred threshold, the only point where manifestation ignites. Your thoughts, like Leon's, may drift between past regrets and future fears. Yet life unfolds exclusively in the eternal now. When consciousness fragments across time, it weakens. United in presence, it transforms reality. The law of attraction responds only to your current vibration, not to memories or projections. One rainy afternoon, Leon sat beside his window. For once, he didn't label the weather as good or bad. He didn't wish for sunshine or worry about tomorrow's plans. He simply watched. Each droplet carried its own perfect rhythm. The sound of rain became a meditation. In that pure attention, something shifted. Time stopped being an enemy to manage and became a dance to witness. That rain became his teacher. Without commentary, judgment, or desire to change anything, he discovered presence. In that state of allowing, solutions arose naturally. Opportunities appeared effortlessly. Life began responding to his undivided attention with unexpected gifts. You too hold this power. When mind, heart, and body align in the present moment, you become a clear channel for universal energy. Past and future are mental constructs. Only now holds the power to create. The ancient ones knew this truth. Presence precedes power. Your ability to manifest depends not on how much you plan or remember, but on how fully you inhabit each moment. Like a lens focusing scattered light into concentrated power, presence focuses your creative force. Practice for presence. 3 times today, morning, noon, and evening, pause whatever you're doing. Breathe deeply and whisper now with each inhale. Feel your scattered attention gathering back into your body. Notice the sounds, sensations, and energy of the present moment. Let each breath reclaim fragments of awareness from past and future. This simple ritual restores your natural power as a conscious creator. Remember, the present moment is not a stepping stone to somewhere else. It is the only place where life exists, where change becomes possible, where dreams take root in reality. Your power to attract and create lives exclusively in the now. Chapter 24. The Portal of Trust. In a quaint coastal town, Pearl ran a small healing center, her days filled with anxious questions about her path. Each morning she would call her mentors, seeking validation that her choices aligned with her purpose. Each evening she would scroll through endless reviews, requiring constant confirmation of her worth. Though her work touched many lives, her need for perpetual reassurance created an energetic drain, like a vessel unable to hold water due to countless tiny holes of doubt. The universe speaks in certainty, not hesitation. When you perpetually seek external validation, you inadvertently tell the cosmic forces that you distrust their guidance. Trust is not merely an emotion. It is a vibrational frequency that opens quantum doorways of possibility. While the logical mind demands proof before letting go, spiritual physics operates in reverse. Release precedes revelation. Consider how water flows. It does not question its course or repeatedly check its direction. It simply moves, finding its way through every obstacle with fluid acceptance. This is the wisdom of trust, not blind faith, but rather an innate knowing that life's intelligence surpasses our limited understanding. One windy afternoon, Pearl noticed a child's kite entangled in the branches of an old oak tree. The more she pulled and strategized, the tighter the strings became. An elder woman passing by smiled and said, "Let the wind do the work." Reluctantly, Pearl loosened her grip. Within moments, a gentle gust lifted the kite, unwinding it effortlessly from the branches. The kite danced briefly in the air before floating down into her open hands. This moment transformed Pearl's understanding. She saw how her constant need for reassurance was like pulling at the kite strings, creating resistance rather than allowing natural flow. The solution had never been in forcing certainty, but in trusting the unseen currents of life. Just as the kite found freedom through surrender to the wind, your path clarifies when you release the need to control its unfolding. The universe operates through trust, not through constant verification. Each time you choose trust over anxiety, you align with the natural order that orchestrates stars and seasons without hesitation. As you prepare for sleep each night, lie quietly and whisper these words, "I trust life completely." Feel these words sink into your being like stones dropping into still water. This simple practice instructs your energy field to reorganize while you sleep, aligning your frequency with the natural flow of universal intelligence. Trust becomes your lullaby, and manifestation your morning song. Chapter 25. The Symphony of Service. In a bustling marketplace, Cliff distributed fresh bread daily from his bakery, yet felt drained by evening. His generosity stemmed from obligation rather than joy, leaving him exhausted and unfulfilled. Each loaf given came with an unconscious price: the weight of expectation, the burden of recognition, the silent demand for gratitude. One morning before dawn, as Cliff kneaded dough with heavy hands, a soft melody drifted through his window. Outside, an old woman tended to wildflowers growing between cobblestones, humming as she worked. No one watched her gentle care, yet her face glowed with quiet satisfaction. The flowers bloomed brighter where she touched them, as if responding to her selfless attention. Through this simple scene, the eternal truth reveals itself. Authentic service flows from abundance, not scarcity. When you give from an empty cup, you deplete not only yourself, but dilute the very essence of your offering. True giving is an overflow of inner fullness, a natural expression of joy that requires no witness. As your energy aligns with universal abundance, service transforms from duty into celebration. Each act becomes a note in the cosmic symphony, resonating with the pure frequency of unconditional love. The universe operates through this principle. The sun doesn't shine for recognition, the rain doesn't fall for gratitude, yet their giving sustains all life. One afternoon, Cliff noticed a young apprentice struggling with basic baking techniques. Instead of seeing an interruption to his work, he felt a spontaneous surge of joy at the opportunity to share his craft. Without announcement or expectation, he began teaching the fundamental rhythms of bread making. This simple act of sharing rippled outward. The apprentice taught others, who taught more, until a web of mutual support grew naturally from that single seed of authentic giving. Each person in this expanding circle gave from their unique overflow, creating a sustainable current of abundance that nourished the entire community. Here lies the sacred paradox. When service springs from joy rather than obligation, both giver and receiver are elevated. The energy flows unobstructed, multiplying its blessings through each heart it touches. This is the natural law of spiritual circulation. What you give with pure intention returns multiplied, not through conscious exchange, but through the universe's perfect balance. Ancient practice. Today, perform one act of service that no one will ever trace back to you. Let it be something that brings you genuine joy in the doing. Plant flowers in a neglected corner, leave an anonymous note of encouragement, quietly clear a path for others to walk. Feel the pure pleasure of giving without attachment to outcome or recognition. In this secret symphony, your soul's true voice will sing. Chapter 26. The Radiance of Self-Love. In a bustling marketplace, Dorothy stood before a collection of mirrors for sale, each one reflecting a different angle of her uncertainty. Day after day she gathered opinions like shells on a shore, seeking confirmation of her worth in the eyes of others. Her smile dimmed or brightened according to the reception it received. Her voice rose or fell with the approval in the air. Until one morning, while arranging these mirrors in her small shop, sunlight caught their surfaces in such a way that they formed a circle of light around her. In that moment, she glimpsed something profound. Her reflection multiplied infinitely, yet each image emanated from one source. The universe speaks through such moments of clarity. Your worth flows not from external validation, but from your connection to the infinite source that breathes life into all things. Like a wave that need not ask the ocean's permission to rise, your essence carries the full power of creation. When you seek approval outside yourself, you temporarily disconnect from this truth. It is akin to a star doubting its light because clouds pass before it. Yet the star continues to shine, undiminished by any shadow. In Dorothy's shop one afternoon, an elderly woman entered, carrying a single candle. As dusk approached, she lit her candle and used it to illuminate others on display. Each new flame burned as brightly as its source, the original flame never diminishing. "You see," the woman said, touching Dorothy's hand, "light knows its nature. It gives endlessly without loss." This truth reflects the essence of self-love, not as vanity or ego, but as recognition of the divine light within. When you honor your inherent worth, you align with the frequency of creation itself. Like the candle's flame, your light never diminishes by sharing it. Instead, it grows stronger through recognition of its own nature. Self-love transforms from an act of will into a remembrance of truth. It becomes as natural as a flower turning toward the sun, as effortless as a river flowing toward the sea. Your worth requires no external proof, just as the sun needs no permission to shine. The practice. Each morning, find a quiet moment before your day begins. Place your hand gently over your heart, feeling its steady rhythm beneath your palm. Close your eyes and declare softly, "I am enough eternally." Allow yourself to feel light expanding behind your ribs, spreading warmth through your chest. Let this truth settle into your bones. You are complete, whole, and worthy, simply because you exist. Chapter 27. The Harmony of Environment. In the quiet hours before dawn, Gerald stood in his office surveying the mountain of papers, scattered supplies, and endless tangles of charging cables that had accumulated over months. Each surface held remnants of delayed decisions, half-finished projects, and forgotten intentions. The chaos mirrored the static in his thoughts, a constant buzz that prevented clarity from taking root. As sunlight began streaming through his window, Gerald felt an inexplicable urge to begin clearing his space. He started small, organizing one drawer, then another. With each item he sorted, each surface he wiped clean, something shifted within him. The fog in his mind began lifting, like clouds parting after a storm. His breathing deepened, his shoulders relaxed, and his thoughts crystallized with unexpected clarity. The outer world reflects the inner landscape of consciousness. When your physical space holds stagnant energy, it creates resistance in the flow of manifestation. Every object carries a vibrational imprint, either supporting your highest vision or anchoring you to past patterns. The universe responds not only to thoughts and emotions, but to the energy field you cultivate in your immediate environment. This truth became evident when Gerald's friend Sarah invited him to her garden. She had spent weeks transforming a neglected corner into a sanctuary of blooming flowers and meandering paths. "As I cleared the weeds," she shared, "old worries seemed to uproot themselves too. Each new plant I added felt like planting a fresh possibility in my life." Within months of tending her garden, opportunities began blossoming in Sarah's career, relationships flourished, and an inner peace took root that had eluded her for years. Her garden became a living testament to the power of conscious space clearing. Just as nature abhors a vacuum, the universe rushes to fill cleared space with fresh energy aligned to your current intentions. When you release what no longer serves, whether physical items or limiting beliefs, you create room for new manifestations to emerge. Sacred practice. Choose one area of your living space that feels heavy with stagnant energy. As you physically clear this space, touch each item mindfully. Ask yourself, does this support who I am becoming? While removing clutter, breathe deeply and visualize old energy dissolving. Feel the lightness that enters as space opens. This ritual of conscious clearing realigns your environment with your highest vibration, allowing universal energy to flow freely through your life once more. Chapter 28. The Vision of Collective Energy. In a small coastal town, Betty taught piano to children. Working alone in her studio for years, each morning she would practice her scales and arpeggios in solitude, manifesting modest success through her individual efforts. Yet something felt incomplete in her manifestations, like a song missing its harmonies. One stormy evening, when power failed throughout the neighborhood, neighbors gathered in Betty's studio, drawn by the warm glow of her emergency candles. As voices rose in spontaneous song, Betty witnessed a truth that would transform her understanding of universal law. The law of attraction operates not merely through individual frequency, but amplifies through collective resonance. Like strings of a grand piano vibrating in sympathy, human consciousness interweaves in patterns of mutual enhancement. When two or more align their intentions, they create not a simple addition of energy, but a multiplication of power. This principle echoes through all creation. Birds do not migrate alone, but form wings of collective purpose. Trees share nutrients through underground networks, supporting the whole forest's growth. Even the smallest atoms dance in bonds of shared intention. Your manifestations gain momentum when joined with others in harmony. This does not diminish your individual power, but rather enhances it, like a single voice finding its place in a choir. The key lies not in surrendering your unique frequency, but in allowing it to blend with complementary energies. Later that week, Betty witnessed this truth again while organizing an impromptu community concert. As voices merged in harmony, the music transcended individual contributions. A woman who had lost her job found inspiration for a new path. A lonely elder discovered connection. A troubled youth felt belonging. The shared vibration had created a field of infinite possibility. The universe responds to unified fields of intention with exponential force. When minds align in common purpose, when hearts beat in synchronized hope, reality shifts more swiftly than any single will could accomplish alone. This is not mere cooperation, but cosmic amplification. Ancient practice of unity. Find a quiet moment with another being, friend, stranger, or even a pet. Sit together in silence, both holding the same simple intention for peace or joy. Feel your energies merge and expand, creating a sphere of enhanced manifestation. This practice, passed down through generations of wisdom keepers, opens channels for miraculous co-creation. The power of two aligned souls creates ripples through the fabric of reality itself. Chapter 29. The Infinite Loop of Gratitude and Growth. In an ancient mountain village there lived a merchant named Ralph who had mastered the art of attracting prosperity. His shop flourished, drawing customers from distant lands who sought his rare spices and exotic textiles. Yet, with each success, Ralph noticed a curious pattern. Abundance that wasn't acknowledged seemed to quietly slip away like water through open fingers. The universe speaks through the language of energy, and gratitude serves as the sustaining force of all manifestation. When you recognize and appreciate what flows into your life, you create an energetic seal that preserves and multiplies your blessings. Each thank you becomes a magnetic pulse, drawing more experiences worthy of gratitude. Success, in its purest form, is not a destination, but a continuous dance with the universe. Those who maintain their manifestations understand that appreciation acts as spiritual maintenance, a sacred practice that keeps the channels of abundance clear and flowing. Without this conscious recognition, even the grandest achievements can slowly dissolve, returning to the ethereal realm from which they emerged. Later, as Ralph walked through the village square, he encountered a traveling musician named Chen. After each song, Chen would pause to tune his instrument, even when the melody had been perfect. Curious, Ralph asked why he adjusted strings that already sang true. "The finest notes deserve the finest care," Chen replied, his fingers gentle on the strings. "Each song changes the tension ever so slightly. If I wait until the sound turns sour, I have already lost the sweetness of many moments." This wisdom mirrors the art of sustained manifestation. Like Chen's instrument, your creations require consistent attunement. Every achievement, every blessing, every step forward on your path deserves careful acknowledgement. This maintenance of gratitude keeps your frequency aligned with continued abundance. The practice of sacred acknowledgement. As each day draws to a close, find a quiet moment before sleep. Speak aloud your gratitude for the day's gifts, both grand and subtle. Name them specifically. I thank you for the morning sun that warmed my face, for the client who trusted my work, for the peaceful moment by the window. Let your voice carry the tenderness of true appreciation. Then rest in that frequency, allowing your consciousness to marinate in thankfulness as you drift into sleep. This practice seals your day's blessings and plants seeds for tomorrow's abundance. Chapter 30. The Awakening of Mastery. A gentle dawn filters through Lillian's window as she waters her indoor garden. For years, she had studied manifestation techniques, filling notebooks with affirmations and vision boards. Yet this morning feels different. As she moves among her plants, she notices how naturally they grow, without force, without strain, without constant checking of their progress. The realization washes over her like morning light. Manifestation isn't something to achieve, but rather a natural state of being. Just as flowers don't strain to bloom or birds don't rehearse their songs, creation flows effortlessly when we align with our true nature. The universe speaks through everything around us, revealing that we are not separate from the creative force. We are that force in expression. Every breath draws in universal energy. Every heartbeat pulses with divine rhythm. When we recognize this truth, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. In this moment of clarity, Lillian understands that all spiritual practices, from visualization to gratitude, were simply pathways leading her back to this fundamental truth. She sees now that trying to manifest is like waves trying to become water when they already are water in motion. Later that day, while preparing tea, Lillian encounters an elderly neighbor who has lived alone for decades. The woman shares stories of her life with such peace and contentment that her presence itself feels like a blessing. She speaks of life not as something to control or direct, but as a dance to join with grace and trust. This encounter mirrors Lillian's morning insight. True mastery isn't about perfecting techniques, but about remembering our original nature. Just as her neighbor naturally radiates peace without effort, manifestation flows most purely when we recognize ourselves as expressions of universal creativity. The teaching crystallizes. We are not separate beings trying to influence an external universe. We are the universe experiencing itself through human form. Every desire, every intention, every creation springs from this deeper truth. When we align with this understanding, manifestation becomes our natural expression rather than something we must work to achieve. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space as dawn approaches. Settle into stillness and breathe deeply, allowing your awareness to expand beyond the boundaries of your physical form. With each breath, whisper gently, "I am the universe in motion." Feel the truth of these words dissolve the illusion of separation. Let your identity merge with the infinite creative force that flows through all things. Rest in this knowing, allowing manifestation to arise naturally from your reunited wholeness. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. You have walked 30 steps through the architecture of universal creation and returned to your own essence. The law of attraction was never a secret to acquire. It was a remembering of rhythm. Every thought, emotion, and act has tuned your frequency closer to effortless co-creation. Within you stirs an ancient knowing. Manifestation flows not from striving but from being. Your consciousness has expanded beyond mere wanting into the realm of sacred allowing. Each breath now carries the potential of creation. Each moment holds the seed of infinite possibility. The shift is not waiting. It is occurring, breathing through your awareness right now. Through these chapters, you have rediscovered the art of conscious creation. You have learned to witness reality without resistance, to trust in the unseen order, and to thank the universe before its gifts become visible. Keep your life unclenched and your heart attuned to wonder, for miracles prefer soft landings. Let your desires float like feathers on the wind of universal timing. Your role is not to force, but to flow, not to demand, but to dance with the cosmic current that moves through all things. These teachings are the beginning of a lifelong resonance with the universe itself. You have remembered how to speak the language of energy, how to listen to the whispers of intuition, and how to align your frequency with the abundance that surrounds you. As these words draw to a close, the new story of your soul begins, a story titled simply, Now. In this eternal moment you stand complete, whole, and ready to create in harmony with the infinite intelligence that breathes through all of life.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.